10. King Fischer. John King Fischer emerged into the harsh Texan frontier near Dallas in October 1853. By the age of 18, Fischer's tumultuous journey into notoriety began with an arrest for horse theft, leading to 2 years behind bars. Upon his release, Fischer embraced the rugged life of a cowboy, mastering the art of breaking horses. However, the relentless raids and violence inflicted upon Texas ranch families by bandits soon propelled him into the role of a vigilante. Fischer quickly earned a formidable reputation for his lightning-fast reflexes in gunfights. In 1878, a fierce dispute with 4 Mexican cowboys showcased his fearsome capabilities. The conflict escalated rapidly when Fischer, in a display of raw power, knocked one cowboy unconscious with a branding iron. Moments later, as another cowboy reached for his gun, Fischer's deadly accuracy was on full display as he drew his own weapon and ended the threat. The altercation concluded with Fischer eliminating the remaining threats, further cementing his legend. By March 1884, Fischer's life was a tapestry of violent encounters, one of which led to his demise during a heated gunfight, where he and his companion, Thompson, suffered fatal injuries. Fischer, who claimed the lives of 37 men, left behind a legacy wrapped in both infamy and awe. 9. Bass Reeves. Bass Reeves, born into the bonds of slavery in 1848 in Crawford County, Arkansas, began his life amidst adversity. Transported to Texas as a child by his enslaver, his early years were marked by the turmoil of the Civil War, during which he reportedly attacked his owner and secured his freedom. This marked the beginning of an illustrious career. Reeves would go on to become one of the first African-American U.S. Marshals and a legendary figure in the Wild West. His law enforcement career was storied and formidable. He captured over 3,000 criminals and delivered justice with the demise of 14 notorious outlaws, fearlessly upholding the law even against his own kin in one poignant case. Retiring in 1907, Reeves continued his dedication to public safety as a city police officer in Muskogee, Oklahoma. His life and heroics are said to have inspired the iconic Lone Ranger, leading to a television series celebrating his exploits. Bass Reeves not only embodied the relentless pursuit of justice, but also reshaped the narrative of heroism in America. 8. Jesse James. Jesse Woodson James, a name synonymous with the daring outlaws of America's Old West, masterminded a notorious gang in the mid-19th century. Born in September 1847 in western Missouri, Jesse, alongside his brother Frank, initially fought as pro-Confederate guerrillas, or bushwhackers, in Missouri and Kansas during the Civil War. Under the ruthless leadership of William Quantrill and Bloody Bill Anderson, they participated in several brutal acts against Union soldiers and abolitionist civilians, most infamously the Centralia Massacre of 1864. Post-war, the brothers escalated their rebellion by forming the infamous James Younger Gang with other former guerrillas. Throughout his life, Jesse James was credited with the deaths of at least 17 men, though some believe the true number could be much higher. His legend came to a tragic end when he was treacherously shot in the back of the head by a gang member while adjusting a picture on his wall. Jesse James remains one of the most compelling figures of American folklore, embodying the spirit of rebellion and the harsh realities of his time. 7. Tom Horn. Thomas Horn Jr., a legendary figure in the American Old West, was renowned for his sharpshooting skills and complex persona. Born in 1860, Horn ascended to fame during the turbulent Lincoln County War in New Mexico as a formidable hired gun under cattle baron John Chisholm. Known as Tommy for his deadly accuracy and steely resolve, Horn instilled fear in the hearts of his foes. His tenure as a Pinkerton detective later cemented his iconic status, employing unconventional tactics that skirted the edges of the law, eliciting both reverence and censure from contemporaries. The shadow over his storied career, however, deepened with his contentious conviction and execution for the alleged murder of young Willie Nickel. Many contended that Horn was framed, a victim of his antagonistic stance against dominant cattle and mining interests. This chapter of his life, rife with intrigue and contention, continues to stir debate, symbolizing the gritty, often merciless reality of frontier existence. 6. James "Killin' Jim" Miller. Killin' Jim, a notorious American outlaw and feared gunfighter, was infamous for his role in the deaths of 12 people during violent confrontations. Born in October 1861 in Van Buren, Arkansas, Jim's formative years were spent in Texas. At 19, he resided with his widowed mother and siblings. His tumultuous life took a decisive turn on July 30, 1884, when he fatally shot his brother-in-law following a heated argument, a crime for which he narrowly escaped a life sentence due to a legal loophole. His journey into infamy continued as he claimed the life of lawman Joe Townsend. After extensive travels, Jim settled as a saloon owner and a lawman in Pecos, only to later join the Texas Rangers. His career took a darker path when he turned to professional assassination. In 1909, a botched job led to his arrest as he left behind witnesses. Local citizens, anxious to prevent another escape from justice, forcefully entered the jail and prepared him for execution on April 19, 1990. As his associates pleaded for mercy, Jim stoically made two requests: to return his diamond ring to his wife and to wear his black hat during the hanging. His final words, "Let her rip," echoed as he boldly leapt from the platform, sealing his fate. 5. Wyatt Earp. Wyatt Earp, a towering figure in American folklore, has captivated audiences through numerous films, portrayed by a parade of Hollywood's finest. Born on March 19, 1848, Earp's life stretched to January 1929, during which he carved his name into the annals of history as a fearless lawman and shrewd gambler in the infamous towns of Dodge City, Deadwood, and Tombstone. His role in the iconic gunfight at the OK Corral solidified his legend, where he, alongside law enforcement, decisively ended the reign of the outlaw Cochise County Cowboys. Although his brother Virgil held the official titles and boasted extensive experience in law enforcement, it is Wyatt Earp's name that is synonymously celebrated as the quintessential Western hero. Despite the controversy surrounding his lethal methods, with estimations of having dispatched between 8 and 30 men in the line of duty, Earp's legacy endures. Passing away in Hollywood at the age of 80, possibly from prostate cancer, Earp's storied life ended with his beloved common-law wife by his side, leaving behind a legacy that continues to echo through time. 4. Wild Bill Hickok. Wild Bill Hickok, born James Hickok on May 27, 1837, in Homer, Illinois, has cemented his status as a quintessential American folk hero whose thrilling exploits have captured imaginations across movies, TV shows, novels, and comics. Known for his adventurous life on the frontier, Hickok was not just a soldier and scout but also a lawman, gunslinger, gambler, and even a showman. His life's narrative arc, from an outlaw at its onset to a revered sheriff at its close, paints a vivid picture of a man who embraced every facet of the Wild West. Renowned for his sharpshooting, Hickok famously defeated Davis Tutt in a duel, showcasing his marksmanship by striking Tutt from 75 yards away, a feat that remains remarkable. Tragically, his life ended in 1876 when he was shot in the back of the head by Jack McCall while engrossed in a game of five-card stud, holding the now infamous dead man's hand of black aces and 8. Hickok's story is not just one of adventure, but also a testament to the tumultuous and transformative era he lived in. 3. Willem H. Bonney, a.k.a. Billy the Kid. Billy the Kid, perhaps the most legendary figure of the Old West, first saw the light of day in the bustling streets of New York City, before his family ventured westward. Settling in New Mexico, Billy quickly descended into a life of crime, becoming entangled with various infamous outlaw gangs and playing a pivotal role in the Lincoln County cattle war. His notoriety peaked in December 1880 when he was apprehended by the relentless Pat Garrett and subsequently convicted of murder in Mesilla, New Mexico. Despite being sentenced to hang in 1881, Billy orchestrated a daring escape, killing 2 deputies in the process and evading capture until Garrett fatally shot him in a surprise attack. While he was rumored to have killed 21 men, expert historians assert the number is closer to 10. His story has continued to captivate the public imagination, notably in the film Young Guns II, which explores the theory that Billy survived as Ollie L. Brushy Bill Roberts, living out his days in Mexico and the U.S. Southwest, performing in Wild West shows, and eventually dying in 1950 in Hickok, Texas. 2. John Wesley Harden. John Harden, born in Texas on May 26, 1853, emerged as one of the most notorious figures of the Wild West. Known for his prowess as a gunfighter and his status as a folk icon, Harden's life was steeped in violence from a young age. Celebrated by some as the most skilled gunslinger of his time, he was responsible for the deaths of at least 21 men in duels and surprise attacks between 1868 and 1877. His upbringing in the post-Civil War South deeply influenced his views, leading to vehemently anti-black and anti-Yankee sentiments. At just 15, Harden claimed his first life, allegedly in self-defense against an ex-slave. His subsequent years were marked by a relentless pattern of shooting, gambling, and evading the law, during which he fatally outmatched 8 Union soldiers and 4 black law enforcement officers. His criminal activities finally caught up with him in Pensacola, Florida. After being extradited to Texas, he faced justice in September 1877, receiving a 25-year sentence. Released on a pardon in 1894, Harden's attempts at a fresh start in Gonzales were cut short when he was assassinated at the Acme Saloon, a grim end to a life lived on the edge. 1. Annie Oakley. Annie Oakley, born in August 1860 in Greenville, Ohio, was more than just a skilled marksman. She was the unparalleled sharpshooter of the 19th century. At the tender age of 8, she made her first mark, expertly downing a squirrel from her front porch. Unlike many notorious figures of her time, Oakley channeled her extraordinary talent into sustaining her family, providing food, and even clearing their mortgage through her earnings from selling game. At 15, she outshot the celebrated sharpshooter Frank Butler, leading to a marriage that lasted until their dying days, only 3 weeks apart. Renowned for her precision, Chief Sitting Bull himself witnessed her prowess and honored her with the name Watanya Cecilia, or Little Sure Shot. In 1898, as the shadows of war with Spain gathered, Oakley boldly offered President McKinley the services of 50 female sharpshooters, underscoring her readiness to defend her country. Indeed, the outlaws of the Old West had reason to be grateful. She never wore a marshal's badge. Annie Oakley was the quickest, most accurate draw of her time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for more content. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends. We appreciate your support. Bye.